The New York Yankees need one final piece to round out their roster for the 2025 season, as Brian Cashman has been busy finding upgrades across the market. Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt are their solutions at left field and first base, with both providing some solid power to an offense that desperately needed it. But the infield remains incomplete. Jack Curry of Yes Network believes that the Yankees will eventually move Jazz Chisholm back to second base, and while it's a logical fit thanks to his excellent athleticism, I don't believe the Yankees will shop exclusively for third baseman, but rather would prefer to end up with one. With that being said, in today's video, we're counting down 3 infielders who the Yankees could target in a trade to bolster their lineup and tie a bow around what has been a very active winter. The New York Yankees would love to add some more speed and athleticism to their lineup, which is exactly what Willi Castro could bring to the table. This past season, he posted a 108 WRC+ and a 3.1 fWAR across 158 games while playing various positions, but the Yankees would likely be best suited with him at third base. While he has good speed and can move well laterally, Jazz Chisholm is a more athletic defender, and Castro has a very strong arm that he can utilize best at the hot corner. The Twins are considering a trade of the switch-hitting utility man because of the fact that he has just 1 year of control left and is in his final year of arbitration, and that 1 year of control left makes him a very attainable target for the Yankees if they're not looking to dump prospects like Jason Dominguez or George Lombard Jr. in a trade. What entices me most about Willi Castro is that he would have been an excellent fit at Yankee Stadium, as if he played all of his games in the Bronx this past season, he would have added 7 more home runs, giving him 19 home runs on the season. Acquiring a hitter with a good fit for the ballpark has been a common theme for the Yankees thus far, with Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt both being hitters who would have hit more home runs had they played their season at Yankee Stadium. Castro's ability to pull the ball in the air makes him an enticing target, and perhaps the Yankees could tap into that even more if they traded for him. Entering his age 28 season, he's a good target for a Yankees team looking to remain athletic and improve on the base paths while also improving over their internal options offensively. Castro stole 33 bases in 2023, and while that number dropped in 2024, perhaps he can steal 15 to 20 bases in 2025, running with an offense that may be more willing to give him a green light. And playing next to Anthony Volpe at third base, it would give the Yankees a pretty complete infield defensively, as Castro has +1 defensive runs saved and +2 outs above average in his career at third base across 458 innings. You also have Jazz Chisholm at second and Paul Goldschmidt at third to offer even more defensive support for this infield. As for what the Yankees could offer up to entice Minnesota, Mark Leiter Jr. is a controllable bullpen arm who's both cheap and could be a value to the Twins. While his performance with the Yankees in the regular season wasn't great, he got some big outs in the ALCS when Ian Hamilton went down with a groin injury, saving the team from potentially having an extended American League Championship Series where anything could have happened and potentially took away a chance for the Yankees to go to the World Series. The Yankees would add about $6 million to their payroll, but they'd open up a spot on their roster to add a left-handed reliever, which they have been openly targeting with both Tim Hill, who is someone they had last year, and Andrew Chafin, who spent time with the Tigers and the Rangers last year, on the market and likely not coming at a high price tag. Willi Castro is an inexpensive fix for a pretty big issue for the Yankees, and he's only a 1-year player, meaning that if he doesn't play well this year, the Yankees can easily move off of him, and his versatility allows him to play other positions in case the Yankees add another infielder at the deadline. Few players are as interesting and perplexing as Luis Arraez, who I believe is a good player, but is more flawed than people think. First and foremost, he's not an elite hitter the way that Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, or Yordan Alvarez are, as a high batting average doesn't tell the full story of someone's offensive contributions. More encompassing metrics like OPS or WRC+ will tell you that Arraez is a good hitter, but not one of the 10 best in the sport like many would assume because of the amount of batting titles he's won in his time as a big leaguer. Despite the fact that he doesn't work a lot of walks or have a lot of slug in his game though, he's so good at racking up hits that he is a legit threat in any lineup, posting a 123 WRC+ over the past 3 seasons with the Twins, Marlins, and Padres. Just because he doesn't walk also doesn't mean he can't get on base. He rocks a 372 OBP during that 3-year window, and right now, the Yankees desperately need someone who can get on base at a high clip. They don't have a clear-cut leadoff hitter, and while Arraez may be someone who some have suggested would be better in a fifth spot, and I think there's a fun conversation for that, the Yankees probably wouldn't be cute or creative in that regard. They'd likely just stash him at the top of the lineup where they know they're going to get a lot of hits and a lot of on-base skills, and the Yankees already have a lot of slug in their lineup. Steamer currently projects them to lead all of baseball in home runs in 2025, which makes sense given that 6 of their 9 projected starters have hit 20 or more home runs in at least one of their last 2 MLB seasons. The big flaw in Luis Arraez's game in regards to how he fits the Yankees comes with how poor of a defender he is due to his limited speed and range. He is a firmly below average defensive second baseman, and while the Yankees could maybe stash him at third base where he'd rely more on his arm talent than his range, it's still a question mark as to whether he'd field the position well. He's been a negative defender at third base in his career, and again, it's just a weird fit for a team who is looking to become better defensively and on the base paths. There's also a question of whether Arraez's approach would work in the Bronx, given how little outfield grass there is to dink and dunk for singles, but even then I'd still think he'd be a productive hitter. Luis Arraez isn't a seamless fit, but if he played to his projected 118 WRC plus and was able to adapt to a less range-reliant position like third base, he would be a perfect bat for the top of the Yankees lineup. I'm almost fascinated by the idea of throwing out an aggressive hitter at the top of the lineup, because if pitchers are going to pitch to the guy in front of Aaron Judge, then having a hitter like Luis Arraez who can take it for a single or a double would certainly help in terms of getting on base and setting up situations for Aaron Judge to drive him in with a 2-run blast. Maybe the Yankees make the fit work, or maybe they don't, but the Padres are reportedly open to trading him, so no one really knows whether the Yankees would or wouldn't be opposed to acquiring Arraez. In a potential deal, I think Ben Rice and a pitching prospect such as Cade Smith could be what gets this deal done, as San Diego will get a lower-level minor league arm with good upside and a bat who could help them as soon as 2025 at a position like first base, where they're pretty questionable. We're double dipping into the well that is the Minnesota Twins' financial issues, and that's with Carlos Correa, who's the kind of superstar that would change the way that anyone would talk about this offseason. This past season, he had a 155 WRC plus and a 4.3 F4 across 86 games, showing off both his excellent power and ability to hit for average. He is a great all-around hitter who can hit the ball to all fields while playing elite defense, and if the Yankees move him to third base, he could have an easier time staying on the field, as shortstop can take a huge toll on a player's lower half, which is where Correa has had most of his injury issues. Over the last 3 seasons, Carlos Correa has a 127 WRC plus and a 351 on-base percentage, which would solve the team's need for a big bat and for an on-base threat. If he had played 150 games this year, he would have had a near 8 WAR season, which would match a production loss from Juan Soto in 2024. The Yankees would also be adding a player who arguably has the best playoff track record of any active big leaguer. Correa has a 133 WRC plus in the postseason, with the second highest win probability added of all time, trailing only David Ortiz since the metric was first tracked. He and Giancarlo Stanton are tied in career playoff home runs at 18 as well, and the Yankees have seen firsthand how much of a killer Correa is in big games. From both a data-driven and scouting perspective, Carlos Correa provides the exact kind of bat the Yankees would desperately need in the Bronx. It would give them another superstar, it would give them an elite defensive infield, it would give them a lineup that's imposing, has tons of power and on-base skills, and it would give them a hitter who is proven in the postseason. They would be, without a doubt, by far the best team in the American League. The gap between them and the second best team wouldn't really be close, and while most people are going to say he's a former Astro, he's a cheater, you shouldn't want him on the Yankees, you know what he did? He won. And that's what the Yankees have been judged by for decades, and that's what the Yankees have not done for over a decade. If you hate cheaters, toss anything you have related to Alex Rodriguez or Roger Clemens. Toss it away. They're big-time PED users. It doesn't matter that they helped us win titles, right? Cheating is bad, don't get me wrong. I don't like the 2017 Astros, but I also understand that it's been nearly a decade since that season, and I just want to see the Yankees win a title. The Twins are reportedly listening to offers for Correa, and if the Yankees want him, they'll have to find a way to offset some of their payroll elsewhere and make an attractive prospect package. My offer would be George LeBar Jr., Chase Hampton, Ian Hamilton, and Rafael Flores. Lombard, Hampton, and Flores are enticing prospects, with Hampton and Flores potentially being guys who could debut in 2025, and Lombard being someone who could be a consensus top 50 prospect by the end of the season. Ian Hamilton is a controllable reliever, and similar to what we talked about with Mark Leiter Jr., it would open up a situation where the Yankees would have more roster space to add a left-handed reliever. Maybe the Yankees get some salary relief back in this deal. I'd prefer that, but they would also probably have to trade someone like Marcus Stroman in a separate deal in order to continue to free up money and keep the payroll roughly where it is right now. In terms of where Carlos Correa's contract could be dangerous, it's really over the next 4 years because it's only those years that are guaranteed. Anything after that is based on incentive-based vesting options that will have to vest through Carlos Correa playing enough games, which does mitigate some of the risk factor here. If you could sign Carlos Correa to a deal that's 4 years guaranteed, with the rest of that contract being if you play about 150 games or if you get about 580 play appearances in order to vest that year, I think every Yankee fan would do it. And honestly, he's a stud. The Yankees need a stud. I want him in the Bronx, and I want Brian Cashman to pull off some crazy blockbuster to put this team over the edge. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section below. Do you agree with my opinions? Is there anyone on this list that you want? Is there anyone I didn't talk about who you think should be on this list? We'd love to know what you guys think, again, in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, join the Fireside family, and check us out on all of our various social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and of course this YouTube page. You can also check out EmpireSportsMedia.com for written coverage on all of your favorite New York sports teams, and we've got some West Coast coverage and general MLB content as well. We've got a ton of fun stuff in store for you guys here at Fireside Yankees, and again, you guys can just press that subscribe button if you could do all that stuff. It would really help. Thank you for sticking through to the end of the video. We love you guys so much. Let's go Yankees, and peace out.
Perfect.